I said at the funeral of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga that they killed Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. I said in the presence of President Daniel Arap Moi that they killed Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. I also want to say, without fear of contradiction, the death of Raila Amolo Odinga, which is still a mystery to a lot of us, those bear responsibility of the death of Raila Amolo Odinga are out there.
The question is now being asked in the open: who killed Raila Odinga, and is something being hidden from Kenyans? What had long been whispered in private conversation has now been declared publicly by one of Raila Odinga's closest political allies.
And they are silent about it, but I hope that one day we will determine the circumstances in which Raila Amolo Odinga passed away.
Thank you.
And that must be an objective that we must achieve.
Siaya Governor James Orengo has called for a full account of the circumstances surrounding the death of the veteran opposition leader. Speaking in Nairobi on Thursday, Orengo did not mince his words. He described Raila's passing as a mystery to many supporters and insisted that those responsible are out there and silent. I want to say without fear of contradiction, the death of Raila Odinga, which is still a mystery to a lot of us, those who bear responsibility for the death of Raila are out there and they are silent about it, Orengo stated. That declaration has shifted the political conversation. For years, Raila Odinga stood at the center of Kenya's opposition politics, a figure who shaped national debates, mobilized mass movements, and influenced constitutional reforms. His political life was defined by confrontation, resilience, and controversy. Now his death is being framed not just as a loss, but as an unresolved national question. Orengo insisted that the uncovering the truth must remain an objective. I hope that one day we will determine the circumstances in which Raila passed away, and that must be an objective that we must achieve, he said. The tone was deliberate, not emotional, not rhetorical, but firm. And then Orengo drew a historical parallel. He recalled standing at the funeral of Kenya's first Vice President Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, Raila's father, decades ago. In the presence of the then President Daniel Arap Moi, Orengo said he made a bold declaration. I said at the funeral of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga that they killed Jaramogi. I said it in the presence of President Daniel Arap Moi, he recalled. That statement at the time carried significant political weight. It reflected deep suspicion within opposition circles regarding the circumstances surrounding Jaramogi's death. Now, Orengo appears to be invoking that same historical tension. By referencing Jaramogi's legacy, he framed Raila's passing within a broader narrative, one of struggle, unanswered questions, and enduring political influence.
Today, I can say the spirit of Raila Amolo Odinga lives on.
In saying that they killed Jaramogi, I also said that the spirit of Jaramogi would live on. Today, I can say the spirit of Raila lives on, Orengo said. The message was clear. Regardless of the circumstances of his death, Raila's political ideals and influence will continue shaping the country.
Another surprise that followed it was that he had asked if he could be buried within 72 hours. I don't know when he wrote this will of his to be buried at 72 hours, whether he wrote it in Kenya or somewhere else.
But why raise these questions now? The timing is significant. Orengo was addressing the press in Nairobi County alongside ousted ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna. Several party leaders were present: Vihiga Senator Godfrey Osotsi, Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino, Saboti Member of Parliament Caleb Mbisi, and Winnie Odinga, the daughter of the late Prime Minister. The political backdrop is tense. Just a day earlier, Sifuna had been removed from his position by the ODM National Executive Council during a meeting in Mombasa. In his response, the Nairobi senator described the move as illegal and procedurally flawed. I was not given a chance to defend myself, Sifuna said. maintaining that he remains the validly elected Secretary General. The convergence of these events, internal party conflicts, public declarations about Raila's death, and rising political tension has intensified speculation. And then there is another layer to the debate. Cleophas Malala's controversial play, Who Killed Amolo?
I'm doing a play.
With Butere Girls still?
No. Since they say that my plays are too political for the young minds, I've decided this time round to do a play with adults, which will be showcased in a commercial theater. And that play is titled, Who Killed Amolo?
Is it the same Amolo we know?
It's a name.
It's a name.
And it's fiction.
Who Killed Amolo?
Malala, politician and playwright, had previously addressed criticism surrounding the production. The play, titled Who Killed Amolo, was widely interpreted as symbolic and publicly charged. While Malala maintained that the play was artistic expression, many saw parallels between the fictional character Amolo and real political figures. The central question in the play, Who Killed Amolo, was not just about a character, it was about accountability, power, and silence. Malala defended the play as a reflection of societal questions. He argued the art has always been a mirror to politics and that asking who killed Amolo was about demanding truth where silence prevails. Now, with Orengo openly questioning the circumstances of Raila's death, the symbolism appears sharper. Is the question who killed Amolo echoing into real political discourse?
Ati unaandika play inaitwa
Who Killed Amolo?
lakini Cleophas, mbona unapenda kusumbua? Mbona unapenda kusumbua bro?
Maswali tu. Maswali.
Hapana bwana.
Na Amolo ni wengi.
Ati Who Killed Amolo? Itakuwa inaktiwa na Butere Girls bado?
Hapana. Hii itafanywa na adults.
Is the play's central theme now intersecting with actual political tensions? Observers note that Kenya's political history is filled with unresolved narratives. Suspicion has often coexisted with official accounts. Political deaths, controversies, and contested transitions have shaped public memory. Orengo's statement does not present evidence. It presents a challenge, a call for an objective determination of circumstances. He did not name individuals. He did not outline a specific theory, but he insisted that responsibility exists and that silence surrounds it. That assertion alone shifts the national conversation. Within ODM, the stakes are high. Raila Odinga was not only the party leader but its ideological anchor. His presence unified factions that might otherwise compete openly. With his passing, questions of succession, loyalty, and direction have intensified. Sifuna's removal has added to perceptions of internal turbulence. His supporters argue that due process was ignored. His critics maintain that the NEC acted within its mandate. Against this backdrop, Orengo's remarks carry weight beyond personal sentiment. They touch on legacy, accountability, and political identity. The deeper question now being asked is this: if there are answered questions, who will pursue them? Through what process? And when? Orengo framed it as an objective that must be achieved, but achieving it would require investigations, institutional will, and political consensus, elements that are rarely straightforward in a polarized environment. For supporters of Raila Odinga, the demand is about justice and clarity. For critics, it may raise concerns about politicizing grief, yet the question remains alive. Who killed Raila Odinga? Is something being hidden? Or is this the beginning of a renewed push for transparency in a country where political memory runs deep and unresolved narratives do not fade easily? As history has shown, in Kenyan politics, questions rarely disappear. They evolve, they resurface, and sometimes they redefine the political moment. For now, Orengo has placed the issue squarely on the national table, and the silence he referenced is being watched more closely than ever. Newsroom, Maisha TV, William Juma.